This video is intended for audiences over the age of 13. If you are not 13 years or older, please click away from this video now. You have been warned. Man James aka JP back again with the toy room. So it is finally time. The toy room 3.0 is done. Well, not really. I've been grinding really hard over the last month, basically since January 1st, or maybe even a few days before then. I've been putting hours into this room every single day, doing this remodel. If you guys are new to the channel, check out my series. I did like a step-by-step just kind of showing the progress throughout the remodel process of this room, and it's been literally hours every single day. There wasn't a day that I took off, and I came to the realization that the room is never going to be completely done. As a collector, you're always adding things and moving things around. So the room isn't done, but it's at the point now where I can definitely show it off. Now, there are a few sections of the room that are still like a work in progress, which will be obvious when I show on camera, but I will point it out. But I'm just really happy with the way that the room has come out so far. It's everything I could have imagined and more, and I'm so excited to share it with you guys. If there's anything that I kind of maybe gloss over, don't spend too much time on, or anything that you guys have questions on that maybe I don't answer throughout the video, definitely leave a comment down below, and I'll probably be doing a Q&A live stream next weekend answering some of those questions. So be sure to drop comments down below, just whether you have questions or your opinion on the room, or maybe something you would change or do better or display in a different way. Whatever criticism or feedback or anything you guys want to share, leave down in the comments below, and I will be doing a Q&A live stream next weekend. So I will warn you guys, this is probably going to be a very long video because I have so much stuff. I can now confidently say that about 90% of my collection is now in the room. With my past rooms, I've never had all of my collection on display, but it is now, and I think I've already made this intro long enough. So sit back, I guess grab some snacks, because you're going to be here a little while, but I'll try and move as quickly as I can through this video. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the toy room tour, the toy room 3.0 tour, and this is February 2021. Alright you guys, so let's start right here at the entrance of the room, and I'll give you guys a brief overview of the room. So as you can see, I got these two nice movie theater style recliner fake leather chairs off of Amazon. And I got that as my seating area with this table over here. Got my TV and my command center and everything over there. Got all of my video games, all of my VHSs. And then this area is still a work in progress, but it's just a bunch of random stuff for right now. And we'll take closer looks at all this stuff in a second. And then this is my entire Blu-ray slash DVD slash CD collection. And then I have these shelves up here, which right now this shelf has a majority of my Funko Pops. That shelf I just put up like right yesterday, actually right before filming this video. So I just threw my cup collection up there for right now. It's just a placeholder. I'm not sure what I'm going to put there yet. I have this other shelf here that has my Toy Story collection as well as some of my other Funko Pops. Then over in this section we have my arcade 1-ups with the brand new risers that I purchased. Over here we have some retro consoles as well as my Samsung GX CRT TV and just a bunch of random handhelds and everything that didn't fit up in my main display. Also have my Oculus Quest. Now I did install one floating shelf. I still have these 4 others that are stacked on top of it to do, which I'm going to put in this area, but I just didn't have time to get around to it yet. Also have my Pinocchio poster that I got at the thrift store. And then this whole back wall is nothing but my toy collection as well as some board games, but majority of the wall is all of my toy collection. I obviously also have LEDs, as you can see, going through the back alongside that wall. The only thing that sucks is because this one is so close to the wall, you do get that kind of effect on the wall that doesn't look that nice. I have it there. I also have that issue over here, but it's not the end of the world, and as you can see, I have LEDs all over the place. So that is a brief overview of the room. Now, normally I have these chairs much closer to the table, but I wanted to leave this area nice and open to show off the magic carpet rug that I got, obviously from Aladdin. But my normal setup, the chairs are much closer and I have much more open space back here. That open space is important because that brings me over here now. As you can see, I do have my shelf of board games right here. And the reason that I made a shelf of board games, not because I have a big board game collection, because, I mean, I got a decent amount, but nothing super crazy, and it's not the main thing I collect. But I do have game nights all the time with my friends. So the ideal situation for us and what I'm going to be doing is, obviously, I made the shelf right here so we can just walk up whatever game we want to play for the night, grab a game, and then in this closet, which at the moment I don't have it in here yet because this closet is still kind of like my work in progress section. I just have boxes and toys and everything kind of stacked up in here, but I am going to be putting a folding table with some folding chairs in that corner of the closet right there. So when it is game night, we all come in here, grab the table and chairs from in here, grab a game from off the shelf, set everything up right here and play it. So that is why I have a board game shelf, and also why I do find this open area really, really important. But for the sake of this video, I did have to move the chairs just out a little bit more, and in retrospect, that's probably the best way that it looks. But these chairs are super lightweight and easy to move. So we'll get to these chairs in a second. I'm going to start from this back wall, and we're going to work our way to this side of the room. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, the lighting in this room does kind of suck because the way that this fan is set up, the lights are pointed, you can see, in those directions. So it's pointing directly at this shelf, which is cool for like display purposes, but then when I stand in front of it, I cast a big shadow. So I'm going to try and maybe use the cell phone flash or whatever to get into some of those areas that you guys can't see too well. But let's go ahead and start right over here. So I have my entire Fast and the Furious die-cast collection from Jada Toys. This is the 1/24th scale, and I really, really love this collection. It is one of my favorite things to collect, and I have pretty much every single car that has come out that I have wanted to pick up so far. So really happy about that. Love the way that they look, and it worked out perfectly along all these shelves. Up here I have my Stranger Things Ghostbusters box set that I just didn't have anywhere else to put, so I threw right there, but I think it works there for now. And then coming on over here, I have some of the SpongeBob meme figures. So you can see the Patrick with the jaw drop and the caveman SpongeBob that is in the wrong time dimension right there. Then I also have the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive hoverboard. This is one of the most expensive things in my collection. I really like how it worked out, having the cars in front of it. It really does make the hoverboard look like it's hovering because you can't really see the stand that it's on. So I think that came out looking really, really nice. Over here I had this random Green Goblin figure that I found. It's probably like, I want to say maybe like 10 inches or something like that. I found it at the thrift store for like a couple dollars one day, so I picked it up, and you know, it's just there. Not an important piece of my collection, but it's there. And then I have the retro giant Ninja Turtles wearing a Miami Heat Build-A-Bear jersey that I found on a Build-A-Bear at the thrift store. So I picked up that Build-A-Bear, took the jersey off, and put it on the Jumbo Mikey right here because why not? So yeah, I have a Miami Heat Ninja Turtles, so that's pretty cool. And then moving on over here, we got some really cool Toys R Us items. So this thing right here, this is Formula 2001. That's actually a t-shirt, but it's shrink wrapped in such a way that it looks like a Formula 1 car. And you can see Jeffrey right there kind of driving the car. Then I also have this die-cast 18-wheeler Toys R Us truck that has a Mustang inside of the truck as well. It comes in a clear acrylic case, so there you go. And then right over here we have Acid Storm, Transformers. I believe it's Acid Storm or Acid Rain. I'm pretty sure it's Acid Storm. I'll be honest with you, I only picked it up. I'm not a big Transformers fan. This is the only Transformer I have in my collection. I only picked it up because I got it on clearance at Toys R Us when I was working there back in the day. And coming on over here, we have the Funko Pop Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Megazord, the Dino Megazord, and this is the glow-in-the-dark variant, so we have that. And then we have the Legacy Collection Red Ranger helmet on display, and then we also have the Target exclusive 10-inch, I believe, Dino Ultrazord, also from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And coming up here, we also have the Spider Gremlin from NECA, and I really love the way the LEDs look behind it. It just looks really, really cool. So moving on back over here, I did mention briefly before the board games, so here's a quick pan so you guys can see. This top shelf is primarily Monopoly, then this next shelf here is like more card games, more card adult games like Cards Against Humanity and Rhymantics and the Blockbuster game. And then the rest of it is just kind of like a mix. This is like more family friendly games, and these are just the big box stuff that I didn't really have a spot for. But did you guys know that there was a Toys R Us board game? It's basically like a Toys R Us Monopoly. Is it good? Not really, but I have it in the collection. Picked it up at Toys R Us while I worked there back in the day. So coming over here, the way that these shelves are set up, this top shelf is my favorite movie of all time. The second shelf is my favorite cartoon of all time. And then the rest of it is just kind of like random stuff. So coming over here, we obviously have my Back to the Future shelf right here. And I just absolutely love this shelf. Like I mentioned, Back to the Future is my favorite movie of all time, so I definitely had to have this shelf set up right here. So you can see a bunch of stuff from Funko Pops to NECA figures to the Playmobil figures, Hot Wheels, Jada Toys, Nano Ride vehicles. Man, just such good stuff here. That Loot Crate exclusive DeLorean that I always rave about, and in my opinion, it is one of the best die-cast DeLoreans that you can find out there. I also threw my Ready Player One figures in this setup just because obviously the movie and the book as well revolves around the DeLorean, and I didn't really have anywhere else that they fit in, so I figured, you know, why not just throw it in here. Also have the Amazon exclusive Doc Brown van box set. Now, what's really cool about this set, if you guys haven't seen my review, is that the box right here is actually Doc's van from the movie, but inside the box is a die-cast DeLorean, and I think that's just really, really awesome. I also have the Part 3 version of the DeLorean right there, and of course, you gotta mention the NECA figures because these are some of the best figures ever made. I mean, just incredible. And then also back there I have a glass from Universal Studios, kind of hard to make out, but you can see that. And I also have a chocolate bar from Universal Studios. So that is my Back to the Future shelf. Now coming down to Avatar: The Last Airbender, like I mentioned, my favorite cartoon of all time. The only issue is that they don't really make a ton of Avatar toys. So I have basically every single Funko Pop that's ever released, except for the variant of this Aang right here that glows in the dark, but I purposely did not pick that one up. But I do have Azula over here, and I do have the Chase variant of Zuko, and like I said, the lighting back here is just horrible, so bear with me. I also have, let's go ahead and zoom in, I have Azula right here from Diamond Select, also have Zuko, Aang, and Katara, and looking forward to picking up Toph and Fire Lord Ozai, and some of the other ones that are rumored to be coming out in the near future. I also have like every version of Appa, 6-inch, regular 4-inch, like little 2-inch, and then also the little mini Momo right there. So this shelf, while it doesn't display the best because there's not really much going on here, I'm still a really big fan of the way it looks. Also have Appa cereal. But moving on from the Avatar: The Last Airbender shelf, we have my World of Nintendo shelf right here. I really loved collecting the World of Nintendo line from Jakks Pacific. They still make the figures, but they only make Mario themed figures, as we see when we get down here. Back in the day, they were doing every franchise from Nintendo, but now they only focus on Mario, and while that's cool, I still wish that they would do all the Nintendo characters. But here is my Mario World of Nintendo shelf, and you can just see so many different variants of every single character, and I just really, really love this shelf right here. I remember when the 6-inch Bowser came out, that was a really big deal. Man, I also added my Hot Wheels as well, my Mario Kart Hot Wheels, so you can see those right there. And I really, really love this shelf. So much color, just so bright and vibrant. It really pops from the rest of everything else that you see here. I really love the way that the colors pop on this shelf. So moving on, we have the other World of Nintendo shelf. Now this is based on all the other characters outside of the Mario franchise. So we have Metroid, Star Fox, The Legend of Zelda, Pikmin, Animal Crossing, Splatoon, Donkey Kong. Just a little bit of everything going on right here. Man, just some really, really good looking figures. I'm surprised nobody has fallen over yet, because especially these Links, because they just have some of the weakest and loose joints ever. But so far, nobody has fallen over, which I'm just very, very happy about. So moving on from this World of Nintendo shelf, we come down here to my quarter scale NECA shelf. Now, I only made this shelf honestly because, well, one, I had the space to fit them, and I really didn't want to put my quarter scales up here just in case they happen to fall over. These are really big, heavy figures, and they would knock everything over on the way down. So I kept them on the bottom shelf, and really I just had nothing else to put here and nowhere else to put these guys, so it worked out. So obviously you can see I have the movie NECA 90s Turtles, and then I have the Dark Knight Joker, and Tonto, I believe, from the Lone Ranger. And then I was mentioning about the lighting in this room earlier, and the shadow sucks and all that. If I bring my flashlight here, you can see I also have Mikey, Donnie, and Raph as well in the quarter scale from NECA. And then moving on, that's a good transition to bring us all the way back up here. Basically, this entire bookshelf is my Ninja Turtles bookshelf right here, except for the last two shelves, but all of these are all Turtles. So these figures are honestly some of my favorite figures of all time. I mean, the detail on these guys, NECA just absolutely knocked it out of the park with these figures. So obviously you can see Master Splinter, the 4 Turtles, and then the Casey and Raph 2-pack. I pretty much have every single one that came out as far as these figures go. Let me go ahead and turn the flash back on so you guys can get a better view of what's going on back here with Toka and Razor, Super Shredder, and then obviously Master Splinter. And Foot Soldier. I only picked up one Foot Soldier because I didn't need multiples. I'm really not into army building like that. And you can also see just some of the accessories as I flash the light away. Right there. So moving on from the movie Turtles, we had to go ahead and get into the cartoon Turtles right here. So the lighting's a little bit better on this shelf, so let me just turn my flashlight off. Alright, so this is the cartoon Turtles right here, and I started this shelf as mainly the main characters shelf right here. So you have Master Splinter, you have the 4 Turtles, you have Casey, and then Bebop and Rocksteady, and of course Shredder, Metalhead, and 2 Foot Soldiers, as you can see right over there. And then coming down from that, we have a continuation of the cartoon shelf right there. And also I added the bootleg versions of the NECA comic book Turtles. I got these off of eBay. These are not the legit ones, but they are really, really good alternatives in my opinion. So I got those. And then of course Baxter, another Foot Soldier. We got the Triceratons and Krang hiding back there. I had to put Krang all the way back there because he just kept falling over. Even with this base that I have him standing on, he's just really, really top heavy. So I put him just leaning up against there for now. And then I have the cartoon version of Slash and then the video game version of Slash, and I always felt like the video game version was just a way cooler design in my opinion. Now I do have the Roadkill Rodney 2-pack as well as the Rock Soldiers 2-pack, but I have no idea where it is. It's in a box somewhere and I'm still trying to track it down, so those will be added to the shelf once I can find them. That's why the shelf kind of looks a little empty and spaced out at the moment. This shelf is still a work in progress. So moving on from the cartoon Turtles, we go down here, and these are basically the rest of the Turtles that I own. A big variation of just everything that's not NECA, pretty much. So, as we just come over here, we have the Lego Turtles, and we have like the Family Dollar mini retro Turtles, as well as I believe these are like Kid Robot Turtles, and then a continuation of Lego right there, and then the Playmates retro Turtles that were released in like 2012, I believe. You can see those, and then these movie Turtles right here are also knockoffs from eBay. So those are the only knockoff sets that I own, is those, and then the comic book ones right there. Continuing on back here, we have Krang, and the lighting back here does kind of suck, so let's bring in the flashlight. There we go, so you can see Bebop and Rocksteady, and then, oh man, these garbage movie Turtles from Playmates. So these Turtles are supposed to be these Turtles. Yeah, night and day difference. NECA is doing way more accurate stuff than Playmates could ever hope to imagine. But anyways, moving on from that, we get down here. I'll keep the flash on because these shelves are a little hard to see. But this is basically my NECA shelf. These are all just random NECA figures. So we got a bunch of Mogwais and Gremlins and Rocky figures. And honestly, these are still some of my favorite figures in my collection. They still hold up to this day and look absolutely incredible. And we have the Lightning Gremlin, and then we have Rambo kind of poking out back there, as you guys can see. Then we also, let me go ahead and here we have some Terminator figures, some Kick-Ass figures, RoboCop versus Terminator, and then some random Aliens figures back there. And also Godzilla's kind of hiding back there. Kind of hard to see, but he is hiding back there. So now coming down here, this is a random assortment of stuff. Let me just fix the camera. and go ahead and zoom out. Coming down here, this is just a random assortment of figures. It's mainly a bunch of Diamond Select figures from the Ghostbusters line to all of the Gotham line, and then also just some random Marvel Legends figures in here as well, and then just some random DC figures. And the NECA Heath Ledger Joker I decided to put here since it's with the rest of the DC figures. But yeah, this is just a random assortment of stuff. Again, these bottom shelves are just kind of all random with stuff that I didn't really have space for. So now moving on to Power Rangers. Here is the Power Rangers shelf. Now I'm calling this my Power Rangers Season 1 shelf, and that's because everything that's featured on here includes the Green Ranger, which was from the first season of Power Rangers. However, you guys will notice that I do have a White Ranger on display, and that's because I never picked up the Green Ranger from the SH Figuarts line, which is honestly, in my opinion, still the best Power Rangers figures ever released. I never picked up the Green Ranger, and I really regret it because I sorely need him for this display. But unfortunately I don't have him, so the White Ranger is in his place. But we just have a bunch of different figures, from Mega Blocks over here to the helmet display, the Legacy Keys from Super Mega Force, Green Ranger Funko Pop, whatever this was, I forgot what this was, but this was from Super Mega Force as well, I believe. We have some Imaginext figures, and like I mentioned before, the SH Figuarts figures over here. And then we also have the Lightning Collection Alpha, the Legacy Collection Megazord, which honestly this was the first thing in my collection, as well as the Legacy Morpher, and that's something that really got me into collecting. So this will forever be an important piece of my collection. Also have the Build-A-Figure Megazord, the Lightning Collection Zordon that came with Alpha, and then some more Imaginext and Keys. And then there's some other random figures that weren't like Lightning Collection or Legacy Collection, but that came out around the time as the Legacy Collection. And we also have the Legacy Collection Dragonzord. So moving on from the Season 1 shelf, this is my Season 2 / Villain shelf. So as you can see, I have all the Rangers now displayed with the White Ranger, as well as the movie Rangers here. So I did like a little combination. It's like a Season 2 and Season 3 and Villains shelf right here. We have a bunch of the Imaginext figures, more White Rangers on display here, and then the Funko Pops with the villains over there. And then I have the White Ranger riding the Legacy Tiger Zord, as well as the movie figures on display right here. And then villains with some Legacy and Lightning Collection stuff here. Lord Zed, Goldar, the Putties, King Sphinx, the Pumpkin Wrapper, as well as so many different iterations of the White Ranger, as you can see right here. We have Legacy Collection, we have Lightning Collection, we just have some other basic standard figures that came out around that time. Just a bunch of different White Rangers. Honestly, it is quite a bit. So there is that. And then after that, I decided to make a Forever Red shelf. So these are pretty much all of the Red Rangers in my collection, minus the Mighty Morphins that I have on display up there. But here are all of the 5-inch Red Rangers that came out around the time of the Lightning Collection. And I also have a mix of Legacy and Lightning Collection 6-inch Red Rangers back there. And then I also, let me bring in the flash back here. I also have just this was the 15th anniversary set of figurines of Red Rangers, and those were my first YouTube video review that I ever did. I do have about 4 or 5 of them that belong to the set that I don't have on display. One because I ran out of room to put them, and I only had to have them leaning up against something because otherwise they fall over. So unfortunately they're not on this display, but I got the important ones in there. So that is the Forever Red shelf. And then coming down here, this is my Megazord shelf / my other Rangers that didn't fit anywhere else shelf pretty much. So we have the Legacy Collection Titanus and the Ninja Megazord and the Thunder Megazord, and then just whatever else didn't fit all came here. So it's a mixture of Legacy and Lightning Collection figures, as you can see right there. And then coming down here, this is my Black and Gold / the 6 Ranger shelf. So you can see I have the Black and Gold Legacy Megazord, the original 93 Black and Gold Megazord, and the Black and Gold Legacy Dragonzord, and then all the 6 Rangers that I have in my collection. And it kind of worked out because they are mostly gold or silver, so it fit into this display, which worked out perfectly. Coming over to this display here, this is pretty much a temporary display because I don't like the way things displayed on here, but for now I am keeping it. So I put my Lego NES set right over there. I may end up keeping that there. I'm not a fan of the Hot Wheels here though, and I didn't really have anywhere else to put the Hot Wheels, and I'll bring in the flash right now. But for now, they are going to sit here, but eventually I'm going to figure out something to do. If you guys have any advice on how to display these Hot Wheels, let me know. But I just put them here for now, but again, I'm not a big fan of how they display. But those are all of my Hot Wheels right there. And then some other like Lego vehicles that I have here that, again, I have to find where I'm going to put. And we have the Ninja Turtles party wagon down there. And we have my Pixar basketball inside of my basketball hoop trash can. So that is the entire back wall. And let's go ahead and just step back and get a nice big shot of that back wall. I am so excited about this back wall. And it's going to be in the backdrop of a lot of my videos. So I'm also very excited for that. So let me know down below what you guys think of the back wall. But now moving on from the back wall, we're going to go ahead and go this way to this side wall. Moving on to this section of the room, I obviously mentioned that Pinocchio poster earlier. I really love the poster. I'm not even like the biggest Pinocchio fan. Like, I love the movie, don't get me wrong, but it's not a poster that I would choose to have up. But I saw this at the thrift store one day with the frame and everything for like $5 or $10, and I just had to have it. It was just so cool. So moving on over here, this is a work in progress section right here. If you guys are wondering why I have a cup of noodles sitting here, that's why, because it has cloud on the cover. But this is a floating shelf, and I don't know if you guys can see, like, this piece is mounted onto the wall, and then these are like littler floating shelves that I just have stacked on top of it for now. My plan is to put them on this wall right here. I just haven't got around to it yet, but I am going to display some of these figures on those floating shelves right there, but that is another work in progress section that I am working on. Obviously, you can see the LED light bars right here, which make this window look really cool at night. As you can see by the B-roll here, it makes it look like the blinds are glowing, and I just absolutely love that. So then coming back over here, this is my Samsung GX Gaming CRT TV, and honestly, this is one of the coolest TVs ever. I did a whole video dedicated to it, but I'll fire it up really quickly so you guys can see it. I didn't want to leave it on for the video because of that CRT noise, but I do have my GameCube and my Nintendo 64 wired up on here, and there you go. I don't have the volume up on it right now, but really cool. You got speakers built into the TV that flip open, and it has a giant subwoofer in the back, so that's just really cool. We'll flip that off because nobody wants to hear that CRT noise in the background while watching this video. Now on this display here, I just have a bunch of random systems that didn't really fit into my main setup, and I'll explain why once we get over there. But we have one GameCube, two GameCubes, the PS1, and then the PS1, Dreamcast, 64, a bunch of different handhelds that you guys can't even really see back there. I'm going to figure out a better way to display these guys. I might put that on a floating shelf as well. And what the heck is going on with that bulb over there? Why is it flickering? Okay, that's better. And then just some other random systems here. 360, Sega Genesis, Atari 2600. This is kind of just like, if this section here is basically stuff that didn't fit there, but also I couldn't put there. Everything here is connected via HDMI, even the old retro systems. These are stuff that I didn't have HDMI cables for, so I went ahead and just did it the old school way with component cables and hooked it up to this TV with TV splitters and everything like that. So I could pull up a chair right here and game on this one if I wanted to. So coming over here, you guys should be pretty familiar with this, but these are my arcade 1-ups from the Marvel Superheroes, the Street Fighter, and the Final Fight ones. And not really much to say about that. It's all pretty much the same, except for the brand new risers that I purchased. I finally went ahead and invested in some risers, went to Walmart, picked them up, 45 bucks, still really expensive in my opinion, but because I was redoing this room and I had to have everything perfect and looking right, I just had to go with it, and it's a night and day difference. It looks perfect, and I'm really happy I invested in it. I still think it's expensive for what it is, but it is what it is. So coming over to this shelf right here, this is my Toy Story collection. As you guys can see there, just a bunch of different Toy Story figures. I really love that Andy's box set, the chest, the toy chest. Then just a bunch of different figures, and then Funko figures as well, right there. And then that leads into my Pokemon Funko Pop collection, as you can see right there. And then that comes down here to my video game collection, and a bunch of retro World of Nintendo figures as well. But this is my entire video game collection, and it's about 600 and something games, and the lighting here is horrible. So let's bring out the flash. There we go, that's a little bit better. But yeah, it's about 600 games from every system you can imagine. NES, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, GameCube, Wii, Wii U, Switch, PSP, PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4, Genesis, Atari 2600, original Xbox, 360, like everything you can think of, it's all here. I even have some PC games over here, but we'll get into that in a little bit. This mess on the floor is just stuff that I'm still trying to find a spot for, so it's another work in progress section. And then over here is my VHS section. So these are all the big clamshell style VHSs, and I just love this old school artwork, man. Just the titles on the spines and everything, just so timeless. And then we have my NES Classic, Super Nintendo Classic, Super Nintendo themed 3DS, and the new Game & Watch on display. Those are just the boxes for them, but I do have them hooked up over there. Now this is another work in progress section. From the shelf up here, this is was just installed yesterday, and I couldn't figure out what to put up here yet, so for now I just put my cup collection, and it's mainly, whoops, I moved the tripod. It's all mainly just Miami Heat cups, but you know what, whatever. It's a placeholder for now, and it's better than having it empty. And then here is my Star Wars Black Series, well, a couple of them. I have tubs in the garage full of Black Series. Now here's my question to you guys, then let me put the flash away. I'm on the fence of what to do with my Black Series collection. You guys, if you're longtime followers of the channel, you know that I love keeping them mint in package. However, I'm not going to do that staircase design that I did in my old room. It's just too time consuming and too complicated to do. But I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Should I keep them in the package, or should I open them all? Because I have literally like 200 Black Series figures, if not more. Should I open them all and make this epic like battle scene across the top of here? Or should I just leave them sealed in the package? Let me know down in the comments below. But anyways, like I mentioned, this is a work in progress section. And then now we come to what I call the command center. So this is where I have most of my systems all hooked up and ready to go via HDMI splitters and power strips all in the back. So we start with my latest edition, which is this Sony A8H 4K OLED TV, and this TV is just absolutely beautiful. It is dimmed a little bit right now. There we go, we'll wake it up. And it's just such a bright and vibrant TV. Honestly, if you can afford to go OLED, definitely do it, because it's really hard to go back after looking at this TV, man. It's just beautiful, and I know the camera's not going to do it much justice. But coming over here, we have my Xbox One X, and then the Xbox One, and then I have my Master Chief Funko Pop right there. And then we have my PS4 Pro Spider-Man Edition with my Nintendo Switch. And then we have my PS3 and this PlayStation Lite, which just reflects really nicely off of the PS3. I love that. And we have my PS2 over here with my Kratos figures right there from NECA. And yes, I know you guys are going to kill me because of all of the wires, but you know what? There's not much I can do about it. These systems all require wires. I know, like, I can do better cable management there, but I really just do not care. So it is what it is. But anyways, moving on, we have OG Xbox over there, Wii Mini, and the GameCube with the screen attachment. We have my Super Nintendo and my NES. Now, I did not wire up my Super Nintendo and NES because I have the Mini and the NES Mini, or the NES Classic Edition. So, really? Thank you. As I was saying, it's just more easier and convenient to play that way, and the image looks better because it's on HDMI, so that's what I'm using when I want to play NES or Super Nintendo. I also have my PS5 over there, my PS1 Classic. The Super Nintendo and NES, they're both hacked. The PS1 is hacked, and my Genesis Mini is hacked, so I have basically every single game from their respective libraries on all of those. I also have my surround sound system with my 2 surround sound speakers, as well as a sound bar, and I have the subwoofer hidden back here. Now you guys can't really tell because it worked out perfectly. So this section of the TV unit, this little backing piece right here, happened to be the same exact width as my subwoofer, and I didn't really have anywhere to put the subwoofer because
it didn't really fit on the command center, and I didn't want to have it on the floor out in the open. So I just tucked it right behind there. I don't know if you guys can really see, but right there is a subwoofer, and there's the backing for this TV stand. So yeah, it worked out perfectly. So that subwoofer's hidden, and no one ever knows. Moving on from the command center, instead of going to the right first, we're going to come this way. So this is just a regular table that I have here set up all nice. Then I have like a candle and some controllers on here and a bunch of cups. But I mentioned the cups and everything on the table because I have these really cool coasters that look like old school PS1 cases. And I did a review on this a while back, so check that out if you haven't. But these are just really, really cool. I have a bunch of them. You can see like I have Tekken 3. And then I also, this isn't related, but I have this really cool Back to the Future Hello Kitty crossover. So I like that a lot. But yeah, I have those coasters. And stay tuned because I also have this. And if you guys are curious as to what this is, well, stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, have the notifications on. This is my next video right here. And that's just really, really awesome. So moving on, like I said, I have like a whole stack of those coasters, and I also keep like my remotes down here, and also just a bunch of magazines and reading materials because I amassed like a little bit of a collection of that. So I have like the important magazines and books and like the higher end, higher quality stuff over here, and then I also have the lesser important ones that no one are really going to reach for, like Game Informers and whatnot. I have that displayed on that side. And this is one of my favorite pieces in the room. The magic carpet from Aladdin. What? Man, this thing is awesome. I saw this at work at Target the other day, and I had to pick it up. It's just a replica carpet of the magic carpet from Aladdin, and it's just so awesome, and it really makes the room pop. Like, I purposely painted the room this dark gray color, and I purposely went with all the black and like dark furniture because everything just pops on the shelf more that way, especially that Nintendo shelf. But having everything so dark really just draws your attention more to all the bright and vibrant colors that I have going on in the room from everything on display. And having this giant purple rug in the middle just really, really sets it off. So I'm really a big fan of that. And I figured, I was looking at a bunch of different rug options from like video game rugs and stuff like that. But I figured if you're going to get a rug or a carpet, why not go with the most famous carpet ever? So yeah, when I saw this, it was a no-brainer. It even has, as you can see right there, the tassels. So just really cool, really good attention to detail, and not too expensive. It was only 25 bucks at Target, so that's really cool. Now coming on to these chairs right here, as I move my shirt out of the way. As I was saying, coming to these chairs over here, these chairs are awesome. I got them off of Amazon for only $300 for the set. Now, if you try to find any other type of movie style recliner chairs, yeah, they're gonna be like, you know, $800-900, even $1,000. This is the only like affordable set that I can find, and so far they're really nice, really high quality, really like nice and just plush and everything too. Like, I thought they were probably gonna feel cheap when I got them, but no, man, these are honestly like really, really nice and really comfortable. And they recline back to the point where you're basically laying like completely flat, which is just crazy. And again, $300 for the set. If you guys want a more in-depth video on this, let me know down in the comments below. Anyways, that's it for the middle of the room. Now coming back over here, this is another work in progress section as well. But I have another continuation of VHSs that come in the little slip covers. And then I have just some other stuff that I just kind of placed there for right now. The VHSs are probably the only thing that's permanent. The rest of this, I'm not really sure what I'm doing with at the moment. But I just displayed a couple of like video game boxes up here, as well as down here with my Sonic Mania Deluxe Edition or Collector's Edition statue. And this really, really cool, really rare Little Tikes CRT TV. You can see right here that it says Little Tikes. And I found this at the thrift store for like 10 bucks, and I had to pick it up. It's apparently really rare because I can't find much info on it online. But it's a Little Tikes TV collaboration, so how cool is that? I also have this Furby over here. And I have probably the rarest piece in my collection, no pun intended, this Nintendo 64 Donkey Kong 64 Toys R Us promotional kit set. Yeah, there's not many of these in existence, and I happen to have one of them, so this will always be displayed in my collection. Yeah, so moving on from that, we come over to this shelf right over here. Now this shelf is halfway done, pretty much. This half is done, and the rest of this is a work in progress section. So I have all these Funko Pops up here. These are all just Funko Pops that are movie-based Funko Pops, and I felt it was appropriate to stack them on top of, obviously, the movie collection. Now this is all DVDs, mostly Blu-rays, but DVDs in here as well. And it's movies as well as TV shows and just basically every form of media you can think of, as you can see right there. And then I also have like a small section of a continuation of like stuff that didn't fit on here. I am going to be overflowing that onto here. This is a really cool thing that I don't know if I ever showed off on the channel. And can I do this with one hand? I can't, so it's gonna knock everything over. But this is basically like a Grammy or an Oscar. When you're a person on the board who votes for the Oscars, you get this like pamphlet sent to you with like the shows that are up for the nominations in that category, and it has like a couple episodes on the discs. I don't know, something like that. I found this at the thrift store. One day I'll do a video on this if you guys want to see a closer look at that. But I have literally a whole bunch of them, so that's something really cool and really rare that nobody else has in their collection. So that's something I'm really happy about. And then I have a bunch of just random CDs here from movie soundtracks, and they're not all mine. Some of these are Christina's. Actually, a majority of these are Christina's, but I'll just kind of pan through them really quickly, and you guys tell me what you can find, if there's anything that you like over here. But a bunch of CDs, and then CDs down there. And then the rest of this is just stuff that I placed here that I have to organize and whatnot. So that's all, again, like I said, a work in progress in that section. And coming over here, I got an air purifier because I remember in a video like a while back, somebody told me an air purifier will help with the dust in the room because I have a lot of dust buildup and I don't really dust anything because that involves moving the figures, and I don't want to do that. So that's the one downside to having all of the black shelving, is you're going to be able to see all the dust, but hopefully it works, so I guess we'll see. And then the last thing in this room, which I'm probably going to need the flash for, is these Funko Pops over here. So the way I did it, I have famous people over here. So we got Michael Jordan, Biggie, Guy Fieri, Muhammad Ali, Hulk Hogan, and then these Bruce Lees aren't Funko Pops, but I just placed them there. And then that leads into like movie-based Funko Pop, mainly just Marvel. And then that goes into my Christmas Funko Pop collection, which I have a lot of them. Mariah Carey, I really love that Mariah Carey one. And then that goes into a bunch of other random figures. And that is where I'm at currently at the moment with the room. So, like I said, it's a work in progress. I still got to work on these shelves over here. Still got to organize a few things. But honestly, let me turn the camera towards me so I can talk to you guys. As I was saying, I've been putting my heart and soul into making this room, honestly, over a month, every day, non-stop, just grinding at it. Literally hours before going to work, then going to work and coming back and putting more hours into this room. And you guys may think like, why did it take that much time? And honestly, I didn't think it was going to take that much time either. I thought it would just be a piece of cake. But there was just so much to do, from obviously painting the room, well, taking apart the way the room was before, and then painting the room, and then building all of these shelves that you see behind me, and then some of these shelves over here. Some of these I had already, but building shelves behind me, and then like finding out or like realizing, oh, like, I don't know, I need an extra power strip or something, and ordering one on Amazon and waiting for it to get here because I didn't want to go to the store and pay, you know, $30, $40 for a power strip that I can get on Amazon for 20 bucks. You know, little things like that, and then just finding ways to tweak the room, and then obviously going through the collection that I had in the garage and finding out, you know, remembering all these toys that I've had stored away for, you know, 2, 3, 4 years, and then sorting them out, figuring out what I'm going to put on what shelf, and then once I did all that, then actually standing them up and finding the right way to display them on the shelf, and also making sure they don't fall over, and just a lot of little tedious things like that that took hours of my life. So that's why I decided to show the room off now, because honestly, I'm drained from doing this room. I've been grinding every day to try and get this room perfect to where it's 100% done so that I can show it off in video. But then I just came to the realization that I'm a collector. I'm always going to be buying things, and there's always going to be things added and tweaked in this room, so it's never going to be 100% complete. So I decided, you know what,
it's at the point now where I feel comfortable showing it off, even though there are some sections that are incomplete and there's some stuff just kind of thrown on the floor or whatever. For the most part, I would say the room's about 75% complete. So honestly, I am really, really happy with this room. It's everything I could have dreamed of and more. And I'm just, I don't know, I'm super excited. And for right now, I'm taking a break from this room. Maybe even 2 weeks, because honestly, I really need it. Knowing me, it'll probably be like a couple days before I try and jump back into it. But I think I'm going to take like a week or two off from doing any renovations to this room and just kind of enjoy it. Sit back. I watched the Super Bowl in here tonight. That was really awesome. I'm going to jump back into playing video games because I honestly haven't played any video games in like a month and a half, so maybe even 2 months at this point. So yeah, it's been crazy. And what's even crazier is this isn't everything in my collection. There's still, you know, a box or two in the garage, and me and Christina are making a Disney display in the bedroom, in the next room over, and I'll give you guys a little sneak peek at that. That's nowhere near finished. It's just kind of in the early stages of trying to figure out where things are going to go, and I have like a whole pile of stuff on the floor as well that I found of where I'm going to, you know, stuff that I need to put up. So yeah, I'll be doing another room tour probably in like a month or two, giving an update and showing you guys everything that's changed. And I guess now I'll be showing off that Disney section in the other room as well, because that is basically a continuation of this room. And honestly, I think this video was long enough. I know I'm kind of just rambling on at this point, but this room has honestly consumed basically 2 months of my life almost. And that's just kind of the update I wanted to give you guys, and I wanted to show off the room, talk about the process that it's been. I know I haven't really gave that many updates. I think I only did 4 update videos. And that's honestly because when I come in the room, I'm just focused on getting things done. I don't have time, honestly, to film stuff and set things up, and it's just too much work. But man, I'm just so happy about this room. I hope you guys enjoy this room just as much as I do. And I'm very excited for the things to come in this room. So that's pretty much it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a long one. If you stayed and made it through this point in the video, I really appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much. It means a lot to me. So if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you leave a comment down below, because I do want to do a Q&A live stream next weekend answering questions and comments on this video. Even if it's not a question, just a reply. If you liked the room, if you didn't like the room, whatever the case may be, let me know down in the comments below. And that's pretty much it. So I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. So as always, guys, stay tuned for more, and I'll see you guys next time.